What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Phase 6, your source for music, business, motivation, and support. It's your boy, Sirr Love, and we're still talking about music business masters. This is going to be the last video in the series about masters, and in this one, I'm going to talk about the top 3 ways to make sure that you keep your masters. In the first video in this series, we talked about 5 ways to lose your masters. The second one, we talked about what is a master, and in this particular video, we're going to talk about 3 ways to keep your music industry masters. All right? Let's jump into it. The number 3 way to own and make sure you retain your music industry masters. Number 3 is to, and you guys have probably heard this, but stay independent, right? Right now, there's a big push for independency. It's like, yeah, we want to be independent. Everyone's ranting and raving about being independent and doing it on their own. Well, the biggest thing about that is you have to actually continue going out there and doing it on your own. Now, doing it on your own doesn't mean you don't have help, okay? As a business person, you're supposed to negotiate and leverage various deals for yourself that are going to help you. Some of those deals may be with record labels, publishing companies, streaming companies, etc. It doesn't mean that you're not independent. Being independent just means you own your own things and you don't sell off your ownership in exchange for services. Because that's basically what you do when you sign a deal with somebody. You sell your ownership in exchange for their service. And where it goes bad is you sell your ownership and they don't give you any type of service. And this is why artists hate labels or traditionally have had bad relationships with labels, because once you sell yourself, your ownership, your rights, your likeness, your image, your voice, your your merch, your music, whatever it is that you sell off in your deal, you've given it up 100%. And what you expect in exchange is services from them. But once that deal is signed, normally a contract will say, you agree to give up all of this. But normally that contract does not say, as a label, we're gonna provide all these services. It just doesn't. It just says you're gonna sign with us, you're gonna deliver this many albums to us, you're gonna do this for 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 us. And most contracts do not say what the label's gonna do for you. Because of that, you sign over everything to the label, hoping that they're gonna do you right. And then in the midst of it, someone gets fired, there's a change in leadership, something happens, the new people come in, they don't know you, they don't even wanna go this direction with the company no more, and you're shelved with someone that now owns you, but has no interest in you, and you took a big L. So, in order to avoid that and retain your masters and retain your ownership, stay independent. Stay making decisions for yourself. You can work with other companies. You can do distribution deals. You can do marketing deals. You can do all sorts of things, PR, all sorts of things with majors or people that are affiliated with majors, but do not trade off your ownership or your assets with one of those companies. Stay independent in that regard, okay? Number 2 is going to be institute some type of buyback or some type of time back on the things that you give up in your agreement. What does that mean? It means in your agreements, you do have the option to basically say, after X amount of time, all the different resources that I've given up to you will come back to me. So it means you can own my masters for 10 years, but after 10 years, I need that back, homie, okay? Or it could mean, you can own my masters, but if I gain X, but you have to sell it back to me for X amount of dollars whenever I'm ready to buy it back after whatever time period. The label may say, yeah, well, you can buy your masters back for this record for $20,000, $10,000, $100,000, $5,000, $1 million, whatever they think is a good rate. You guys can negotiate that in the buyback and basically say, whenever you make this amount of money, you have the option to buy your masters back for that record if you choose to. That is a buyback. A time back means at the end of this time period, you have to give it back to me and then I can take ownership. Once you have ownership in your masters, now you have control over the future of those records and you can decide how those records go forth and make money. Types of decisions you may make, you may decide to change the publishing company that your masters are going through. You may say, I don't like this publishing company, I want to work with this publishing company because they can offer me more. You may say, I don't want to use any publishing company, I want to use administration organizations and I have this administrator work with me here. You may say, I don't like the way that this is being sub-published, I want to sub-publish this through these people. All these different terms I'm throwing out are terms that I've done other videos on that'll help you a lot when it comes to learning the game, okay? But you have control, you have options over how your money is going to make money, all right? Or how your master, your ownership, your royalties are going to make you money going forward. And the number one way to make sure you own everything is to pay. Pay for your stuff. When you go to a studio, pay the engineer for his services. That exchange of money is a deal. I gave you X amount of dollars, you gave me this. If you ever had a problem later down the line, you can basically say, I pay him X amount of money for my ish. Therefore, he has no ownership in it. This person has no ownership. The production company, yeah, there's nothing in the agreement that says they own my masters and they weren't paying for my music. Therefore, I own my masters. You can be in a situation where you got the master ownership is not written in your agreement, but the publishing company is paying for everything that's happening, and they're saying, well, we own the masters because we paid for it. You're not paying for anything. Pay for your own ish. All right. A lot of you guys want to play this role as being the broke musician, the singer, the songwriter, the rapper that ain't got no money. I'm tired of hearing rappers get on tracks and rap about how many stacks they got, do videos with all this money in the video on Instagram, counting money, and then say they can't afford studio time. They can't buy a beat. They're calling up their friends. Can you cash at me $20? I got to get on the bus. Like, these things don't make sense. If you guys want to be great at music, this is a business. You have to take this serious. There's a big line in the word independent. There's independent as in serious business people that are independent artists, and there's independent, the term for obscure artists that are living in obscurity and they're pariah and they're just out here in the world trying to make it with dreams of being great. And since they have a laptop, they call themselves independent. You, sir, are not independent until you take on the business of being an artist. A hobby is not an independent artist. You're a hobbyist. You're a person that makes music. You're creative. You're an artist, but you're not an independent artist. So when you hear people say we're looking for independent, unsigned talent, they are not talking about you. They're talking about the people that are doing the business of excelling in the business. All right. And that's the reason why I don't even want to go into what I was getting ready to say. That's a whole nother video, but we'll jump into it. So I hope this is, helpful in reference to you guys understand the top 3 ways to retain your masters, okay? Because you can lose them in a lot of ways. I've already talked in the previous video on how you can lose them. These 3 ways will help you keep them, and I've already talked about what they are. From this point forward, there should be no confusion on what a master is and how it can impact you. Like I said, go back and watch videos 1 through 6 from this channel where I talk about royalties and mechanicals and performance and all those different things, because all those things apply to your masters, and you can better understand how you can navigate yourself in this business and how you can go and succeed going forward. All right. Additional resources, I got this audio books where I talk about this way more in depthly. There's info packs, I talk about this way more in depthly. There's all sorts of other resources that are on the website for you guys to take advantage of and check out. I don't know everything, but I know a lot about a little bit about a lot. I'm trying to give you guys everything that I got right here on Phase 6. So go to www.phasevi.com. That's Phase 6, phasevi.com. Check out what I'm making for you and get out here and win. All right, I'm out.